making plans are such a dream. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone. Not a soul. That when we are alone, she's touching me. Well, I'm a sucker for it, give it to me. The way she's looking at me, she's so damn perfect. It's so damn worth it, the secret we keep. Yeah, I'm a sucker for it. So, this is what happened. Brienne is such a guiding goddess, could get anyone she likes. But when she's looking at me like that, I know she's only mine. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone. Her hands are in my hair, whisper in my ear. I won't tell anyone. Not a soul. But when we are alone, she's touching me. Well, I'm a sucker for it, give it to me. The way she's looking at me, she's so damn perfect. It's so damn worth it, the secret we keep. Yeah.
Welcome back to another video. So it is Wednesday and it is week 5, so there wasn't supposed to be a week 5 of this block, but I mentioned in the last video, because this block has gone so well, week 4 wasn't anywhere near max effort, and in order to line my blocks up with Commonwealth, I've extended this block by a week just because there was room to do so, rather than doing next block as a 5-week block. So I was definitely right. Squats tonight were amazing. So PBs all round, top set was a PB, back off for a volume PB. My top set of 6 was a little bit rubbish, I won't lie. Basically, my mum walked in as I was then unracking the bar, and I could see her at the corner of my eye. So I felt a bit off, like it put me off a little bit. It was fine. I still went in confident, but it took me until rep 4 to even remember how to squat. So it was a little bit janky, but the fact that I could hit 162.5 for 6 when things didn't feel amazing is brilliant. And then back off 6s at 147 for a little PB. So last week I did 145 for my back offs. This week I've just gone up 2.5 on everything, so that I have more room to go up higher on Saturday if I feel like I can. Yeah, 147.5. The main thing I had to just kind of remind myself of, so it was physically really easy to do those reps and to do those sets, but mentally it was like, I was obviously fatigued anyway, but it was like a mental battle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So literally before each set I just said to myself, like, it's going to feel difficult in your mind, but physically you're more than capable of doing this. And I was, to the point where on my last set, which I haven't actually put the video in because I just filmed that one on my phone, my last set of 6, I think my second set was the best one, which I also didn't film at all. And I think I did film it on my phone actually, irrelevant. My third set though, my mum had come back in and she was literally telling me a funny story as I was squatting, so I was like giggling after my reps, and I had a couple of misgrooves, but it was still fine because it was like I was giggling as I was doing the rep. Still hit my last set of 6 at 147, so definitely not complaining. Incredibly happy with how the squat session went, especially like I'm not feeling 100%. I went out for dinner last night. It was like my last meal out before I'm fully back on like dieting back down. I mean, I say back down, I'm like 86 kilos. I'd like to get closer to 84 though and do my last full block as an 84 or at 84ish. That's kind of what I'm thinking, just so I think I want to kind of cut down and get my body setting point a little bit lower, so then post British I can maybe do another little bulk or something, but that's not the point of this at this point of this video. Can't get my words out. Also, I'm very out of breath if you can't tell because I've literally just finished squatting. Yeah, what I was going to say, so last night had a meal out. It was like, it wasn't like a disgustingly like fatty meal or anything. It was like an all-you-can-eat kind of steak place, and it was very good quality food, but it was also very salty, so then I was up half the night like dehydrated as hell, and I feel like today I just felt a little bit off because of that, a bit watery, like a bit off I guess, but considering all of that, squats move very well, so I'm going to stop talking and bench. Stupid, but I won't tell anyone. Her hands are in my hair, bench is done. And I'm pretty happy with it actually. So if you compare my 110 singles, I did 3 singles at 110 today. If you compare them to my singles from last Wednesday's session, they were so much smoother. So I was focusing more on my elbow position, which is why my butt did come up a little bit more. I think I was focusing so much on another thing that I kind of didn't keep my bottom half in the best position possibly. It doesn't really matter though, because by like the end of my back off set, everything had kind of mixed together and clicked. But essentially, I was completely oblivious to the fact that I was doing it, but someone commented on my video before last and said about how on my sinking bench, it looks like I'm tucking more, which the irony of the whole thing is for sinking bench, I have a wider grip and I internally rotate a lot more when I'm setting up and for the unrack, and it feels a lot better. But I think because when the weight starts to feel heavy, my natural instinct is just to tuck. And because that unrack, although it feels better position-wise, it doesn't feel quite as strong because I'm not used to it yet. And because with this rack, there's less height adjustments, I'm a little bit too, like, my arms are a little bit too short for the height that I have it on, but they're also way too long for the one underneath. So the unrack I'm still kind of getting used to. But sinking undoubtedly feels better with more of an internal rotation. But basically, when it starts to get heavier, I'm instinctively tucking, but I think I've been over tucking, which is what this person pointed out. So incredibly grateful for that, because tonight I focused more on keeping my elbows not flared. Don't get me wrong, I don't flare my elbows. My shoulders hurt too much whenever I've tried to flare in the past, and it just doesn't really work for me. Like, I like a certain level of tucking, but I've basically been focusing on not over tucking. Like, I've been thinking more about bringing my elbow to kind of meet the plates rather than obviously like excessively flaring and also excessively tucking, and it definitely felt better. It was a bit of a weird thing to get used to, which is also why I think my singles weren't super speedy, because I was controlling the descent a lot more than what I think feels best, because then by my first set of back-offs, I still controlled the descent similar to how I was on my singles, but second, third and fourth set, I let the bar fall into me a little bit more, obviously still in a controlled way, but it was just a bit more of a speedy descent, and it felt miles better. So I think the combination of slightly more flared elbows and letting the bar sink in is perfect for me. This is by far the best sinking has felt, to be fair, apart from maybe week 1 when it was like ridiculously light, so it was obviously going to feel good. But yeah, no, like that's the best it's felt. I think I've found kind of what works for me now. It's just drilling it in and getting used to doing it. But yeah, my pauses probably weren't quite as long this week, but again, I was focused on so many other things that that's not the important bit right now. The important bit is just getting a consistent rep every single time. So I'm also really out of breath, which is why I thought I'm not explaining it very well. But yeah, I'm very happy with how bench went. I'm now going to set up and deadlift, and then I'll do a proper recap at the end because I want to get home.
I'm making you another million. Some more whipped cream on your cake. I'm handing you another glorious pavilion. You got something that I really need. Something special we all feed on. In the hive, you're the queen. I'm a stone from your throne. I'm a king of motherfucking work control. You can bite my wings off and drag me out. You'll always be my keeper, my holy route. You can make another fucking million. What you want ain't what you get.
Okay, so it is Friday. I didn't finish this video on Wednesday after I trained. By the time I deadlifted, I just completely forgot. Excuse my hair. It is 30 degrees here. That is far too hot to have a full fringe, so I've just tried to like dry it out of my face. Yeah, so I woke up Thursday morning. Surprise, surprise. Anyone that has watched my videos for a while knows that when it is week 5 of the block, I have to get ill. It's just whenever I'm going for PBs, I have to get ill. It's just like a rite of passage at this point. I woke up yesterday morning and it was mostly my throat, and it still is mostly my throat causing issues, but my energy levels are just so low as well. Yesterday as well. So my mum has kind of, since we've moved, she's taken ownership of helping sort our garden out, because I know nothing about gardening, and the garden was in a bit of a state when we moved in. So she planned to come over yesterday, which is Thursday, and do the garden. So I was like, well, I'm not well enough to work. I'm going to just have a day off, and I'll just kind of keep her company, whatever. And I ended up, I say helping, I didn't do anything strenuous obviously, but I was out in the sun for the morning, and my back is also bright red and sunburn, which is so stupid because I had sun cream upstairs, but I thought I wouldn't need it. I didn't think I was going to be out in the sun that long. My skin felt fine. I was going to just put it on if I felt like I needed it, which is dumb. Always put it on before you go outside. But I didn't. So not only am I ill after that session on Wednesday, I'm also sunburnt. So it's just not good. But today I'm literally just doing nothing. I've done all my coaching work this morning. All clients are updated. I'm away all weekend pretty much in Essex, Saturday and again Sunday. So I have started next week's programs as well, just so that everyone is ready and I don't have to worry about anything too much over the weekend other than just replies. But yeah, basically my session Wednesday was really good. Like, I'm so happy with how it went. I couldn't have really asked for much more. Deadlifts didn't feel incredible, which is why I only did 2 sets. But to be honest, my plan for like deadlifts on week 4 were quite close to max effort, or but not max effort, but they were basically as difficult as I want deadlifts to be at this point. I'm just like struggling to form a sentence. I'm not pushing deadlifts this block. I'm not pushing deadlifts till comp. Like, deadlifts are on the back burner. That is the plan. I don't want any interference with squats, and my deadlift goes up just from pushing squats alone, which I've mentioned multiple times now. So as long as my deadlifts are at a reasonable intensity towards the end of each block, they will progress. And yeah, so last week on week 4, that was supposed to be the last week of the block, deadlifts were quite difficult. So I wasn't going to push and try and go for anything heavier this week. I was just going to try and like near enough replicate what I did last week. Which, to be fair, I did 2 sets of 5 at 160, and I could have done a 3rd set, but honestly, I just felt really beaten up by that point, and I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to call it. I could have done a lighter set, but it just didn't feel important enough to at that point. Like, I just didn't do it, basically, and I'm not upset about it. I didn't skip. It wasn't even programmed. Like, it was an extra bonus week of the block. I haven't lost anything by not doing that 3rd set. I still got a decent amount of stimulus. I got the intensity in that I needed. And yeah, they move well. My hamstring before comp, I mentioned my right hamstring was feeling really tight before comp, to the point where it kind of felt like it had been pulled a little bit. And I noticed that I was feeling that again when I was deadlifting as well, which is another reason I was a bit like, maybe just not, because I've been really pushing my accessories. Hamstrings are an area that I'm really focusing on as well, because they are definitely a weakness for me. So rather than risking kind of irritating that again, I just thought 2 sets is enough, and it was. But no, I'm really happy with how the session went. Like, squats, I've watched them back on my camera, my depth was decent. I am happy with everything. Like, squats could have been cleaner, but I mentioned, like, my mum walked in as I was unracking the 162, and it just completely threw me off, and then I just wasn't in the right position for the whole thing. Like, it wasn't until about rep 4 that they felt kind of somewhat natural again. But I'm in a good position for a PB tomorrow, Saturday, apart from the fact that I'm ill. But I think I'll be okay. I just need to basically be careful with what I put my energy into right now, because I am running out of energy very quickly. So plan for today, like, it's 12:30 now. I've spent the entire morning just doing all of my coaching work to get myself ahead for next week. Or, well, basically so that I can have the weekend more or less off. I'll still reply to everyone and do some video analysis and stuff, but nothing that requires too much time, and I can do on my phone if I need to. Like, I prefer using my computer for everything, but if I'm not going to be at home, obviously I can't. So I want to just get the programs done at least as a bare minimum. So yeah, basically just coming on to say week 5 was off to a great start, and then I got ill. But I've hit PBs when I'm ill before. I'm sure I can do it again. It's fine. Just hope my throat sorts itself out, because I talk for a few minutes and I just suddenly feel like I can't speak at all. So on that note, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Also praying that my sunburn doesn't affect squats and bench tomorrow either. It's not too sore, like, it's not awful, but my back is pretty red. But it's fine. It's all going to be fine. It's going to have to be. But yeah, I'm off to powering through for week 5's squats and bench tomorrow, so it should be a good day out. Obviously, if I feel really rough, I won't go, but I'm feeling a lot better than yesterday. I'm just still feeling quite drained, so I'm hoping just a day of rest today, and tomorrow I'll be good. I'm trying to just stay as hydrated as possible and just flush everything out of my system. I don't think it's contagious either. I think I've just worn myself down, which I do this all the time. I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I really should take a bit of a break soon. But I'll just push it off. And I've done it for weeks and weeks and weeks and crumbled. And it happens every time, but it's fine. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Please leave a like if you have enjoyed. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you've made it this far. Let me know how you think the start of week 5 has been. Am I silly for adding an extra week to the block? Would I have gotten ill if I hadn't have added this extra week of the block and just gone into a light week? Who knows? And subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you on Monday to see how the rest of this week pans out.